On the bridge, you'll find the main control console with the steering gear alarms, the azipod alarms, the transfer of central control, and RPM indicators. These are the steering angle indicators, showing a 34-degree turn to port. Notice the outline of the pod nacelles and the propeller on the face of the indicator dial. Pod positions are referred to by degrees. For example, port 30 degrees positions the pod, or pods if grouped, with the propellers inboard to 30 degrees. The pod position can also be observed on the conning officer's display, along with the power settings, turn rate, yaw, speed over ground, and so on. The TC21 lever sets the desired power thrust, either ahead, green, or astern, red. To turn the cutter, rotate the azipod units away from the desired direction of the turn. Imagine you're driving a boat with an attached outboard motor. Operating in manual and asynchronous mode, it's recommended the azipod on the inside of the turn is maintained in the ahead position to maintain speed, while the unit outside the turn is rotated outboard to provide a thrust away from the cutter, pushing the stern away from the intended direction. If you rotate both azipods like this, the vessel will turn, but sacrifice forward momentum. Because the cutter turns so quickly in ice, a typical turn is made using only 10 to 20 degrees pod angle. Otherwise, turn the pods 90 degrees for a tight turn or 45 degrees for a less steep turn. Turning the cutter around. In a number of ice-breaking scenarios, it becomes necessary to turn the ship around and head in the opposite direction. For a cutter with azipods, this has become a relatively simple task, letting you pivot the cutter in slightly over its own length. Conventionally driven icebreakers have for years relied on a star turn maneuver, casting the cutter about in the ice by using the prop wash to recreate a hole in the ice for the stern to back into before attempting the next cast. This maneuver is not necessary when the vessel is equipped with azipod units, and in fact the star maneuver cannot easily be executed. To quickly reverse direction in level ice or brash within the vessel's length, place one azipod 90 degrees inboard to the center line, thrusting outward, and the other unit turned at approximately 70 degrees inboard to rotate the stern into the ice, while washing the broken ice away from the stern. It will describe a progression of approaching and clearing a lock wall. It employs using pod wash extensively to break and clear ice. The recommended approach is stern first. Back the cutter with the propellers leading as you see here. You will make two approaches. The first approach is made a ship's width or so off the face, breaking some ice with a prop wash and opening a relief track. The second attempt is down the face of the facility at a 30 to 45 degree angle to the pier, flushing the ice away with the inboard azipod while controlling direction with the other unit. Employing a cutter with azipod propulsion units for this task is an ideal application of the vessel's capabilities. The increased maneuverability dictates a new approach to this task. Going in stern first flushes broken ice out and provides an area of open water ahead and around the cutter. Here, the pod wash is breaking up ice as the cutter moves slowly astern. The sequence you're watching was shot along the quay on the St. Mary's River. The structure in the lower left is being substituted for a pier or abutment in a typical harbor that needs clearing. This ice is then flushed through the locks downstream. That is the end of this section on clearing out a facility.